People's Court, next on MyTV Tampa Bay.
Way to go. Were you intoxicated?
I went back and talked to the police.
Were you intoxicated? Yes or no?
No,
Were
I
you
was
intoxicated?
not.
Then why did you leave the scene?
This is the plaintiff, Alejandro Miron Avila. He says he was working at Hungry Howie's as a delivery man when he heard a huge commotion outside. Turns out the drunk defendant slammed a golf cart into his car, damaging it something awful. When the cops arrived, he was rolling around in a puddle covered in blood, and it turns out he's been arrested 3 other times for public intoxication. He's suing for $1,575.87, the amount of his damages. This is the defendant, Barry Benson. He says he hit a puddle of water, lost control of his golf cart, and hit the curb. He didn't, however, touch the plaintiff's car or cause any damage to it. His golf cart has a tiny scratch and surely would have been ripped to shreds had it done damage to the plaintiff's car, as he claims. And just for the record, he wasn't drunk. He's accused of bad driving. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for slander.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Everybody's talking about the Honorable Marilyn Milian, the hottest judge on television. Real cases, real litigants. Here in our forum, the People's Court.
You seated? Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Alejandro Miron Avila.
Yes,
you
Your
are
Honor.
suing Barry Benson for $1,575.87 in damages to your car plus lost wages that you anticipate during repair time of your car. Tell me what's going on.
Well, basically on that night,
What night is this?
June 21st. It was a Saturday night. I was working from 6 till around 1 o'clock, and basically I was just inside, doing like what I was supposed to do. Like,
Where were you working?
I was working at a pizzeria called Hungry Howie's, and basically I was just working that night. Me and the manager were both in the store. I was just doing what I was supposed to do, which is before the end of the night. I was just getting ready to close. And then all of a sudden, we heard this ringing, and my manager, pointed out that it might be something. It might be the buzzer being that you can ring from the outside to signal somebody from the inside.
In the back?
Yes.
Okay.
So we opened the back door, which is where all the drivers go back, and then as soon as I
What
opened
was
it,
your role? You do what for Hungry Howie's?
I'm a delivery driver.
Delivery driver.
Yes,
Okay, so
but also I was closing that night. So when I went outside, I saw a golf cart rammed right into my Protege, and I'm the only car parked back there.
Protege
basically.
being your car?
Yes, my Mazda Protege. I was basically parked, so it wasn't like in anybody's way. It was parked where it's always supposed to be, so it can get out of the way, so nobody can hit it or whatever. But this golf cart was it was rammed right into my car. So as I keep
Did you see
walking
anybody in
forward,
the golf cart?
No. As I keep walking forward, though, I do see a man rolling around in a puddle covered in cuts and bruises, and he's bleeding. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's, obviously hit my car. But first, let me get some help, because the first thing I was taught, in law studies law studies class, that you don't touch somebody if he's been in an accident. And this guy looked like he was seriously hurt. So I called
You learned
911.
that where? In law
my
study?
law studies class, yes.
Law studies?
Yes, I took a law studies course in high school, just so I can dip a little.
They tell you don't touch him? I would
because
think that would be in medical studies. But anyway, whatever reason, you pick up the phone, you do what? You call 911?
I called 911.
Okay.
Basically, just to get somebody over here so they can at least document the accident, and also get Mr.
Oh, I
Benson some
imagine
help.
to get him help too, right?
Of course, and get him help
rolling
as
around
well.
in a puddle.
Of course.
Okay.
I don't want to touch him at all because of the fact that I might actually.
Did you think he was
worsen the
intoxicated?
Yes, because later on I was looking inside his cart. He had like a whole bag full of empty beer cans, and plus also. That night, I also did a little research on my own. It turns out he was actually at a local bar and they told me that basically the manager told me that he was drinking profusely. After that, he basically.
So he's rolling around in the puddle.
He's rolling around the puddle.
You pick up the phone and you call 911, and what happens?
And after that, 911 answered my call, but they didn't send an ambulance or a police car until like 15, 20 minutes later. But this man, he's rolling around, he's struggling to get back up, and as soon as he gets up, on his own will, he gets back inside the golf cart. I managed to take away the keys of his golf cart, so he doesn't keep.
So he can't flee.
Yes, but this man, he did not look like he had no clue what was going on. He just kept on demanding for his keys. Well, meanwhile, his golf cart was rammed inside my car.
Okay.
So I was just trying to keep him from fleeing the scene, but he managed to flee anyway. place because he started walking off, and he's limping at that moment. So I didn't want to tackle him. I don't want to do anything to push him down, or anything like that. I wanted the police to come by and settle the matter. That way they know exactly what to do.
Okay.
So this man just walks off in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, he just disappears. I don't know where he went. The police came by. They don't know where he went. Nobody can find him. He walked off back basically the same way he came, which is where, I guess, from the bar. I guess he tried to go back there because he was thinking probably, I don't know, maybe I left my golf cart.
Did you ever find it? When you say I did a little research, you mean just asking around in the neighborhood business? Did you ever find out where he went after he fled the scene?
Well, yes. I realized later on that his wife picked him up. This was later on when I had.
How'd you find that out?
Well, when I found out who he was, who the.
How'd you find out who he was? The police did because the golf cart was registered to him.
Well, the golf cart was basically picked up by him after it was towed. So the next.
So he's the guy who picked it up at the impound?
Yes, and they gave me his name, and after that I was able to find him.
And after that you were able to...
After that I just researched him on a website that basically lets me know if he's had any previous arrest records, and I did find him,
And what did you find?
I found his phone number, his address, and, his other convictions.
And what other convictions?
For DUIs.
How many DUIs?
Around 3, Your Honor.
Oh, that's okay. Well, can you hand those over to me? Mr. Benson, what's going on?
I was up at the establishment playing poker. That's what I was doing that evening. A little bit.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you I wasn't. It would be a lie.
Did you crash into his car?
Yes.
He has a right to remain silent, but not drunk. The testimony continues.
How many times have you been convicted of DUI, sir?
Twice.
In your life?
In my life.
Okay. And were you licensed to drive a golf cart, a car, or any kind of motor vehicle on the night in question? Or was your license suspended from the DUIs?
The plaintiff is saying the defendant was rip-roaring drunk and rammed his golf cart into the plaintiff's car. The plaintiff says the defendant then fled. Let's listen.
Why'd you say in the answer to the complaint that you didn't crash into his car?
I did not say that I did not crash in. In the complaint, I said I did not cause the damage that he claimed I did.
They were
I have
trying
a fiberglass
to say I hit
golf
the plaintiff's...
cart.
Listen to me. This is your answer.
Yes, ma'am.
They were trying to say I hit the plaintiff's car. The cart was still right there on the curb. It didn't even.
It was on the bump.
You're not listening to me. The cart was still right there on the curb. It didn't even get to his car. That's what you said in the answer to the complaint. Mm-hmm. Now you're telling me, yes, I did crash into it. Okay.
That's what I was told afterward, the fact.
Why? Because you were too drunk to know what you did?
No. I went back and talked to the police officer.
Were you intoxicated?
I went back and talked to the police officer.
Were you intoxicated? Yes or no?
No, I was not.
Then why did you leave the scene?
I went and called my wife.
Why didn't you stay there and call your wife?
Because he took my keys.
He took your keys so you wouldn't leave, and then you left anyway.
No, he said.
How many DUIs do you have?
He said,
how many times have you been convicted of DUI? How many times have you been convicted of DUI, sir?
Twice.
In your life?
In my life.
Okay. And were you licensed to drive a golf cart, a car, or any kind of motor vehicle on the night in question? Or was your license suspended from the DUIs? I think we both know the answer to that, so I don't think you have to struggle that hard. It was suspended, right? So might that be the reason why you fled the scene so that the cops wouldn't arrest you?
I did not flee the scene.
Well, were you there when the cops came?
I was over at the payphone.
And apparently the only phone is away from the scene for the entire time the cops are there?
It was right
Did you come back to the scene after you made the phone call to your wife?
Yes, I did.
Were you there for the police when the police were doing the report?
Yes, I was there for the police.
Was he there for the police when the police were doing the report?
I have a police report myself.
Just a second. Just a second.
I have a copy of the police report and the official police report itself.
And what's the answer to my question?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, hand me the police report.
Of course.
Okay. Come on up, ma'am. Who are you?
I'm Marsha Benson, his wife.
Okay.
He called me at about 1:30.
Okay, you understand that Florida has a law like most states that say you cannot leave the scene of an accident. And saying, well, I left it to make a phone call is not a defense to that.
No one would let him use their cell phone.
No one would let him use their cell phone?
He asked several
They probably didn't want it to get in the puddle.
The puddle was what happened when the golf cart ran into the curb of the scene of the accident. His car was parked in an improper parking place. It was not a parking place. It was a drive-through. If his car had not have been there, his car would have never been hit.
Okay, so let me see. I want to make sure I've got this correct. Put your hand down. I do not need your help. Let me see if I've got this correctly. The driver, a person who is employed to look me in the eye when I'm talking to you. A person who is employed to be the driver of Hungry Howie's is parked in the drive-thru where apparently they let him park, and it's a parked car's fault that you crashed into it. It's the parked car's fault, and not the fact that you are wasted when you are driving, and you have no license to drive, so you're not even supposed to be driving because your license has been suspended for your numerous DUI infractions.
Excuse me.
So it's not that, right? That's not what caused the accident, right? Now, if you want to put a bottle to your head and pull the trigger, go ahead. But there's other people involved when you take to the roads. You see? That's why you can't do it.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin outside the Times Square Information Center. So, was this guy drunk?
Absolutely, no question at all.
Why?
He's already proven that he's got a drinking problem, and the fact that he already admitted to drinking earlier.
Yeah, but he, just because he has a drinking problem doesn't mean he was drunk that night.
But his keys were taken away from him.
Well, that is true. So it has all the trappings going inside the courtroom.
He's not employed by Hungry Howie's. He has never been employed by Hungry
I
Howie's.
object. I have
What?
statements. I still have employment, record.
He does
I
not.
don't care if he's employed by Jack Daniels. His car is parked and you crashed into it. And you tell me in your answer that you didn't, but I've got pictures where, oh, look at that. There's the impact. Would you take this with a cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. There's the impact where you crashed into it. I've got you leaving the scene of an accident. And I don't know how you weren't. Were you ever charged with that?
No.
No.
I'm surprised because that's what should have happened. He should have been charged with it.
We also have
I got
pictures
photos.
of what the damage was to the golf cart, and the small amount of damage that was done to a fiberglass golf cart could not possibly have done
No
the damage
way
that
done
he's
that
claiming.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
I offered
Your Honor.
this man $500.
Your Honor, you see
I
Did he offer you
told him.
$500? What, you mean after the fact?
I
Once he sued
told
you?
him. I said,
When
I'll
he
give you
Do
$500
you mean after the fact,
because
or
that's
do
what
you
I
mean
cost.
at the scene?
When he got in touch with us.
Later.
When he got in
He
touch and
had
sent
said
that
to
letter
him-
to us.
He had said, I will...
And here
I'll-
this man
I'll
goes and
settle
tells
this.
everybody who I am and what and all my DUIs in the past.
Actually, you've got a lawsuit against him for slander, right?
Yes.
Because he told people that
He told everybody.
Because people that in the park where we
But
live...
you understand
I've been
that
going to
slander
that
means that they made a
establishment for
false
5
statement about
years
you.
and never had a problem.
Wait. You
Now they
understand-
don't let me
What
in there
about
anymore
defamation
because
of
of that
character?
man right there.
They don't let you in there because of that man?
Right.
The place where you have been drinking?
No.
No. Eating.
Well, we go
Cash
to
wars.
Yes.
Well,
You
had
gotta
you been
eat.
drinking or hadn't? You told me you weren't going to lie to me. You said, all right, I'm not going to lie to you. I was
Casboars.
drinking. Go ahead. What were you going to say to that?
Yes, Your Honor. He basically is not allowed at Casbo's anymore because he threatened to sue them because he claimed that they let him go because they served him too much.
So he was going to sue them for that? Where'd you get that information
Well,
from?
basically, that's what I was hearing from my coworkers.
Did
They
you
told
ever
me he
talk
did come
about
over.
that with him?
He contacted me later on after I tried to work out a deal with him so he can pay for my damages, which is like $1,400 because I'm not a greedy man. I just wanted my car fixed. Okay?
Well, what else would you possibly get besides your car fixed?
Of
What do you mean
course,
you're not a
of
greedy
course.
man? You want what you're out. Okay, go ahead.
So then after that, he like a week or a week and a half later, he tried to contact me to ask for my help to be a witness. Basically, anybody that I had as a witness, he was going to list down as a witness also and subpoena
And what
them.
would be in it for you?
He just said everything was going to be taken care of. He didn't specify how much my damages were going to get paid in. He didn't specify any monetary
Okay,
amount.
you want to respond to that?
I didn't say anything about any of that. I had said nothing about that.
Okay, so your basic defense is, yes, I crashed it. I know I told you I didn't, but I did. I crashed into it, and I owe him something, but it's not the amount he's saying. It's a lot less
Exactly.
than that.
Exactly.
The police report said $500 damage to his
And
car.
That's just the
offered him
police just write an
$500.
estimate. What police
And he-
report? The
and
one that
he's-
says
the
that,
one that
that
you
the
looked at.
perpetrator's unknown?
The one that you looked at.
The one that I, okay, the one
And
that I
it
looked at.
said-
So you've stopped. So you've seen the police report that I looked
Yes.
at that says that the perpetrator's unknown because the perpetrator's not
Yes.
there.
Yes.
All right, so
we went back and spoke with that police officer.
We spoke
When?
with him.
Right after that, after I
Right
picked Barry
after.
up.
Right.
Can I just ask
And
you, you know
he
what?
said-
Can I just tell you something? Just stop, because I want you to listen to me. What I'm about to say.
Yes, ma'am.
You obviously have a problem. You have a drinking problem, and the bad part about it is that instead of being mad at you and having a consequence, your wife appears to be enabling you by defending you with this kind of vigor when you crashed into a parked vehicle. I'm worried about you guys.
Did not
I am
crash.
severely worried about you guys. Yes, you did crash. I did not. I did too. You don't know what happened.